What is up, everybody? Hope all is well. Just stopping in today for a little update video. Show you guys my latest project I'm working on. We are not quite done yet, but we are making progress. The plan for this piece right here, this is actually going to be the top of a coffee table. Now I just finished staining all this wood, and this will actually be the table's frame underneath. A couple longer pieces over here. For the table frame here, I'm just using some Pittsburgh solid stain. It is water-based. Yes, sometimes in the afternoon I have me a 00. You can kind of see the distress look here in this piece, which I kind of incorporate into a lot of my artwork and stuff like that. The difference with this from a lot of my artwork, I do a lot of 3D stuff in my artwork, but I made this one nice and flat, obviously because it's going to be a table. I thought about getting a glass top made for this thing. I made a table this winter with a really large glass top. I thought it was quite awesome, but I think I'm going to leave this one as is. I do got some commissions coming up, so I'd like to get this done so I can start on some of those pieces. Now for this, like I said, I used a solid stain. I don't like the solid look, so I'm going to sand everything. Hopefully get a lot of this thicker stuff off. I'm hoping just to get some of the grain to pop out. And like I do with a lot of my stuff, I will sand these corners to give it a distressed look. Now usually what I do, instead of using like a solid stain, you can see this. You can see the char, the black there behind the paint. I will char the piece with a blowtorch. And then I will take, like for instance, this was blue paint, and I will kind of just rough paint it on. Not perfect, because I want it to look really distressed. But I thought I would try something different with the table frame here. But now that I've seen the solid color, I want to try making that stuff more distressed looking as well. I currently do not have a buyer for this table. For some reason, I just kind of had a whim. I thought of this idea, and 5 minutes later, I started making it. Then I started thinking, well, maybe this will work as a table in my van, as I was thinking of replacing that. But this is just the wrong size, so that's not going to work. Another option I have, if I can't find a buyer, I can always swap it out with the one I have in my house, just for a little change of scenery in there. Now here is the current coffee table in our living room here. And I built this thing probably about 3 years ago. Eddie's coming to say hi. What's up, Eddie? Stretch it out. Anyway, I had this old reclaimed lumber from a job. Took it from the house and I built the table out of it. Thought it was pretty cool. And now I still can't believe it. I don't know, I probably made that 3-4 years ago. And I could not even get $300 for that thing. When I was finally trying to just get rid of it, I was asking $300, no takers. If I built this today, there's no way I would sell that for $300. And trust me, I've been looking at furniture for 2 weeks. We've been going to a lot of furniture stores because we actually are getting new furniture tomorrow. But you could buy a fake piece of furniture that looks sort of like this. Not really. You might get into something like that for $300-400 bucks. But if you go to any store and they're selling this custom handmade stuff, you're talking $1,000 easy. It's just all about getting your stuff in front of the right people, which is not always the easiest. Now, I definitely like the view of this coffee table. It's a little high for your standard coffee table, but we do eat here a lot, so that works. My new coffee scene mountain table is actually gonna sit a little bit lower, so it'll be a little more comfortable if you put your feet up, because now when I put my feet up on the coffee table, they raise the feet just a little too much. We are back out here in the shop. You might have seen me holding this in the thumbnail, and I actually got a pretty cool story about this gun. If you are a regular viewer of this channel, you might have seen this gun on my channel a few times. A little while back, I think I made a short, or maybe a full video, talking about how everything is junk. Seems like everything you buy nowadays is junk. So this gun, it made the everything is junk list. Anyway, I bought this gun probably 1 year ago. I think I built one project with it. It was the large table I built this winter. Hopefully you guys saw that. That table kicked ass. But by the time I started on my next piece, this thing was no longer working. I tried a few different things. I just could not make it work again. I even started taking it apart, looking at some of the insides, and I found a piece that was broke on the inside of this thing. Of course, I did not have the receipt for this gun, so I was kind of stuck with it. In the end, the only solution I could think of is I went back to Home Depot. That's where I bought this gun. And if Home Depot happens to hear this, too bad, you guys sold me a crappy piece of junk. I just went and I bought the same exact gun. So of course, I brought the new gun home, took the new one out of the package, put my old one back in the package, and took that one back with my new receipt. So in the end, I still got the same gun. Hopefully this one works longer than the last one did. I am hoping to get some van content out this week as well, so stay tuned for that, guys. When I started building this, the plan was to build something quick, so maybe it could be a little more affordable, but now I got a ton of time in this thing, so it might not be the cheapest piece in the world. And that's gonna be about it, guys. I just wanted to stop in, give you guys a little update, kind of a behind the scenes look. Let me know if you like this style of video or not. I sometimes just like getting these little simple videos out there. On that note, I better get back to work on this table. I'm sure you guys got stuff to do. We will see you guys next time. Take care.